Welcome to the last module. I'm so excited that you have made your way through this course, and I hope that you've done it with ease and grace on yourself. Again, this is a self-paced course. You're not meant to learn everything perfectly right after you finish the video. You have this course for life, so take advantage of it, rewatch it, take notes. I highly encourage you to do that, and I'm excited to jump into pump spin. This is probably my second favorite move with shuffling. I would say running is obviously my first, but I love spinning. So I'm excited to get into the importance of it because I think being a really good spinner helps a lot with so much with dancing in general because you're using a lot at once. So being able to do a successful spin and shuffling is requiring you to use your core and use your balance. If you don't have those, in my personal opinion, your turn is not really going to be that fluid. You need core stability and you need balance. So that is really important. And if you can nail that with a spin, if you can have a beautiful, successful spin, I'm 100% confident that you can do so much more in shuffling. So another reason that I think that the pump spin is really important as a beginner shuffler is because it teaches you body awareness and spatial awareness. When you're spinning, you have to know where you are in space and you have to be able to spot. If you don't spot, you won't be able to get around super successfully. It will be a lot harder to get around and you'll get really dizzy. So spotting is really important, but in able to spot, you have to have spatial awareness. You have to know where you are in space while you're still moving your body and flowing through your area, right? This is gonna help a lot at shows because when we're dancing at shows, it's easy to kind of like get in the flow, but having that spatial awareness of who's around us while still being able to express ourselves is really important and something that I think an advanced shuffler does. Another reason I think a pump spin is really important is because it requires you to trust yourself. When you're spinning, if you are looking down, it is because of two things. It's either because you're not squeezing your core, so you're just looking down, or it's because you don't trust yourself and you're looking down so that you can feel more confident about your spin. Having a successful spin and shuffling is going to help with that confidence in other moves because like I said, it's going to require you to keep your head up. The last reason that I think that this is a really important move is because it's going to teach you how to loosen your body and not be so tight. And a lot of moves that we do, like cutting shapes and running in, you kind of have to be a little bit forceful to really especially get those counts and nail on time. With spinning, you've got to be a little bit looser in order to have that flowy effect, right? That's kind of like the beauty of the spin, is it's flowy and it's poetic and smooth, but you have to be a little bit loose with yourself. You can't be super tight and rigid. So having that balance of a smooth turn is going to help you find that fluidity in other moves. So yeah, those are all of the reasons that I think that this is super important, and I can't wait to jump in the tutorial. Let's get into it. So I want to remind you that when practicing your spins, when you are just getting started, I want you to just practice nailing one. Don't try and get ahead of yourself and try and throw in so many because you're going to start feeling discouraged and overwhelmed. Please try and nail one and then start setting yourself up to practice 2 and 3 and so on. But you've got to know that foundation. You have to feel comfortable in that foundation before you keep trying to move forward. So just a suggestion. But the first thing that I want you to start with is I just want you to get comfortable with the feeling of having one leg up and one leg rooted into the floor. You should already be comfortable with this because this is kind of how we start with our perch. But with our spin, we're gonna lower that perch a little bit and we're gonna kind of angle it this way, right? So it's kind of think like you're sitting and you're crossing your legs. Now I don't have it completely touching, but it's not also right out here. It's kind of in this comfortable position. So if you were in a perch, you lower it and then you kind of tilt right here. This is where I want us to start. Now, in this position, all I want us to do is hop. So we're gonna hop 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll notice I'm not hopping super high because that takes like so much energy. We're just doing slight micro bounces. Very small micro bounces with our supporting leg. So we have our foot down, crossed. We're gonna do 5 micro bounces. Now this time I want us to micro bounce in a circle. So we are going to turn the same way that we have our leg up, okay? We're gonna do an outside turn. We're not going to do an inside turn. We're turning outside away from our supporting leg, okay? So we're just gonna do 5 hops this way toward our leg that's up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6 so that way we can get around. Let's do it one more time and I'll start facing the back. So 6 turns all around, micro bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep in mind, you're not actually going to be doing those 6 bounces. We're just doing a practice to kind of get us comfortable with how it feels to turn and so we can understand the proper way to be turning. Let's try it on the other leg. We're here. Let's do 6 little micro bounces. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And knowing which way to turn is really important because if we're turning the wrong way, this is what it would look like. It's a little bit harder. Now, you obviously can do that. There's times that I throw that into my flow. For the proper pump spin, you turn outside away from your supporting leg. Now, something to also keep in mind is our supporting leg is slightly bent. Okay, we're not like in normal dance, we turn on a straight leg, and shuffling we don't. So it was quite the adjustment for me, and if you're the same, I feel you, but we do have a slight bend in our supporting leg, okay? We're gonna do that same exercise again, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick out. So we're gonna kick, kick, we're gonna come back in, kick, in, kick, in, kick, in. And when I'm kicking, my leg is going straight. When I come back in, it bends. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So let's do that in a circle. Kick, in, kick, in, kick, in. From the other side, and I'll face to that. Here, kick, in, kick, in, kick, in. So moving forward, I want you to really practice your arms here. As you get more comfortable and confident, you can really start playing with like different arms, but I really want you to focus on keeping it here right now. This is going to be a really good spot for you, and it's kind of taking us away from doing these dino arms, but it's keeping them in this comfortable position. Moving forward, I want you to take away that micro bounce that we're doing. This micro bounce, we're going to scratch that. That was just a practice to get us sort of started. What I want you to do now is just practice on a tap with the foot. You can see my heel is slightly coming up and coming back down. That's all we're doing in our turn. We're kind of scooting that foot and tapping that heel. As far as how many times you pump is totally up to you. It really also might depend on the song, how fast the song is. There's sometimes I'll do only one pump where I'm just like pump to the front. There's times I'll do multiple where I'll pump, pump, pump. And I don't really have a clear focus. Maybe for right now, focus on pumping to the front and to the back. So you would pump to the front, to the back, front, back, front. Yeah, so we kind of got the groove of how this is supposed to feel while spinning. Now let's practice with a solid beginning position. You can really start it however you want. It's going to depend on really where you are, but let's just start like this for now. So you kind of have this leg out relaxed, this leg is plie, but your toes are to the front. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn until we hit this position. Now remember, we're going to do a right turn. So we're going to turn away from our supporting leg. Boom. And we're always going to come back to this position. Hit. Now we're going to kick out and do our heel tap. Kick. Now we're going to turn again, just for the sake of learning, and we're going to come back to this position. Turn. Now we're going to turn again, and we're going to kick out, out. And it's just that constant change of out, in, out, in, out, in. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. That's all it is. Every time you kick and you come back in, you're tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Boom, 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 boom. Again, really practice just feeling the music. I encourage you to do it with the music because it's going to feel a little bit better. If you need to prop up like a stool or a chair or hold your couch and help you get around to kind of help with your balance, please feel free to do that. Something I do want you to practice though is the spotting that we talked about. Spotting the front will really help. So as I'm turning, I'm trying to get back to the front. Okay, that is my goal, to get back to the front. So in order to do that, I try and keep my focus decently to the front until I can't, and then I snap my head around. So I'm kind of like snap, 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 snap. I'm constantly trying to make it back to the front. Okay, this will really help your spatial awareness that we talked about and your balance. Now, While spinning, it's really important that we stay lifted, okay? You don't probably ever see a lot of spinners like down here. We really want to keep our head shooting up really tall, and we want to stay grounded into the floor, okay, like a tree. Our roots are pushing into the floor, and the crown of our head is reaching up. It's the same with turning. Boom, boom, boom. The last couple of key points with turning would be our counts. So when we shoot out, every time we shoot out, that is when it's like the actual count. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Every time we come in, that's our and. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 6. Remember that. 1 and 2 and 3 and. It's kind of the same with all shuffling in general. When you're out, it's the count. When you're in, it's on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. A lot of us have a dominant leg. I grew up dancing most of my life, so I am dominant turning to my right. That would be considered a right turn. So the way that I've been doing it is considered a right turn. But a lot of people who might not have danced before, they might feel more confident standing on their right leg because they might be right hand dominant. So they would think to stand on their right leg, which would result in a left leg turn, which I see a lot of shufflers do. So if you were to do a left turn, you would start here, and you would do that same thing. Push, 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 push. Yeah, it's the same gist. You're gonna find that you're gonna have one leg that just feels better and that you enjoy doing the most. Mine is my right, turning to the right. I do try and still incorporate the left because we want to be fluid on both legs. I highly suggest practicing the right and the left. Just remember, squeeze your belly, spot the front, use your arms to help you, and make sure that you're doing power. Your leg that is kicking, you don't want it too soft, or you won't really get around. It has to have some power in it, okay? You gotta really kick, that's why it's a pump spin, because you're pumping, right? You're pumping it out. So that is all for the basic pump spin, and I hope that you took something from this that helps and makes sense to you, and I hope that you can start adding this into your flow with confidence and with ease. So I'll see you in the next video where we'll kind of do a recap of everything you just learned.